Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment. 32 teams, 32 days, and today we're talking about the Denver Broncos, a team whose fan base is very excited for this upcoming 2019 season. Is this excitement deserved? We're going to talk about it today. We're going to talk about this team, give its strengths, weaknesses, give you some bold and some stat predictions, then get out of here with my win-loss prediction for the Denver Broncos. So let's begin by talking about their strengths, and let's begin by talking about their front five. I knew when the Denver Broncos added Bradley Chubb last year's draft, we were in trouble, and in trouble we were. Bradley Chubb bursting onto the scene, double-digit sacks his rookie season. Across from Von Miller. I mean, what a duo there is right there in Denver. And even the defensive line, Adam Gotsis, this guy's now really starting to come into his own. Derek Wolfe on this defensive line as well. You have to love this defense right now in Denver. And then how about Shelby Harris at nose tackle, a guy that not a lot of people knew about, but really did a nice job quietly last season for Denver, really provided them with a lot of great run defense and support. I love the front five right now in Denver. We look at the next strength for this football team, and you have to look at the running back position. Philip Lindsay and Royce Freeman. What a duo. I mean, we thought Royce Freeman was going to be the one that was going to carry the load last season, and all of a sudden, this young kid, Philip Lindsay, burst onto the scene for the Denver Broncos, getting over 1,000 yards in his rookie campaign. My goodness, what a year for Philip Lindsay. And then Royce Freeman did some nice things in number 2 duty as well. This is a great young duo to have in the NFL right now, and is a duo that I'm absolutely a fan of. We have to then, though, move to the weaknesses for this football team, and we have to look at the quarterback position. Look, Bronco fans, okay? Bronco fans, let's not do this again. We just did this. We just bought into Case Keenum. After one great year with the Minnesota Vikings, we bought into him. We gave him too much money. So then what do? We turn around and we trade for Joe Flacco, who's not even coming off of a good year. Joe Flacco hasn't even had what I would qualify as a good year in probably 5 years. He hasn't thrown for over 21 passing touchdowns in, about 5 years now was the last time. The closest he's gotten was 20 touchdowns to 15 interceptions. He is someone that we can guarantee will give us double-digit interceptions. If he plays 16 games, it's going to be over 12 interceptions. He can't even get a passer rating over 90, where last year 23, I think, quarterbacks of the 32 that qualified had a passer rating over 90. And this included Eli Manning had a passer rating over 90 last season. Joe Flacco is done. The Ravens knew this last season. They needed to bench him for Lamar Jackson, who can't throw, okay? And then when Lamar Jackson took over, he won almost every game. They were 4-5 with Flacco, and then I think they finished either 6-1 or 5-1 with Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, who cannot throw, was still better for the Ravens than Joe Flacco. Was still better at winning football games. We traded for Joe Flacco. Now, luckily, the Broncos will be able to get out of this contract next season. But for right now, Joe Flacco is a weakness, and Drew Lock, I think there's a lot to like about Drew Lock, but he's a rookie and a second-round rookie at that. I'm not going to, say that's going to save this as a weakness for this football team. Quarterback is a weakness right now for the Denver Broncos, and I also think wide receiver. Now, I know we love Emmanuel Sanders, and deservedly so. This guy has been a great veteran for this team, but coming off of an Achilles injury, he's done. Okay, you just have to face facts. He's done, especially at this age in his career. Coming off of an injury, he's done. You can't rely upon him to do anything for you. If you get 500 receiving yards from him this year, you should be happy, honestly. I mean, he should get that, but I'm telling you, coming off this Achilles, I'm not betting on nothing when it comes to Emmanuel Sanders. Courtland Sutton. Okay, this guy did well last season. Now, is he ready to take that #1 mantle, that #1 title yet? We'll see. But then outside of that, we have nothing. We have Tim Patrick. We have Deshaun Hamilton. There's just a bunch of guys here that we're going to have to wait and see about this upcoming season. I really thought they should have invested more draft capital into this position, and they did not. So I do think Courtland Sutton will rise to the occasion, but Tim Patrick, Deshaun Hamilton, and Emmanuel Sanders are coming off a torn Achilles. No, I'm not buying into that. I'm not buying into the wide receivers in Denver. So overall, I'm not buying into the passing game in Denver, and I have to buy into your passing game in today's NFL. With that said, though, we do move on to the X factor for the Denver Broncos, and that is their tight end position. So no effect. This guy could end up saving this football team. You know, really, if this guy could be a nice weapon, that tight end weapon that Joe Flacco would love to have, then all of a sudden this passing game looks better, because I'm still not expecting much from the wide receivers, but the rookie Noah Fant, he could come in and he could really end up helping this Denver Broncos team. With that said, we move on to my statistical projections for the Denver Broncos, and no, you do not need to adjust your television sets or your computer monitors. Quarterback Drew Lock, 2,000 passing yards, 11 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and an 84.0 passer rating. I will circle back to that quickly in my bold predictions, but you heard me correctly, Drew Lock. Running back Philip Lindsay, 200 carries, 925 yards, and 5 touchdowns. So a good year for Philip Lindsay. Now, I do believe that Royce Freeman is again going to get involved, and that will limit Philip Lindsay's overall production. This actually will put him less than last year in terms of yards, and I think touchdowns will be about the same. So look out for that for you fantasy people. And then wide receiver Courtland Sutton, again, I do think he will step up to the plate. I don't think he's going to get 1,000 receiving yards, but 850 is very respectable, and I think that's what he'll come down with. So now let's get into my bold predictions. Bold prediction number 1, Drew Lock starts most of the year. I think you're going to start Joe Flacco initially. I think he's going to stink. Okay, I think he's going to stink bad. I think it's going to be worse than he was last year. And then you guys are going to put in Drew Lock, and that'll be the end of the Joe Flacco story in the NFL. No one will ever again start Joe Flacco, hopefully. I mean, who knows? Maybe next year the Miami Dolphins or someone stupid picks him up after you, but I really think this should be it. I think after it being benched from the Baltimore Ravens, and now what I'm predicting is end in Denver. I mean, he can't play people. I just don't know why. He's never really been a good quarterback in this league once. There's not been one top 10 Joe Flacco season. He won the Super Bowl how many years ago? 6. Now we're going on, if not already, 6 or 7 at this point, and he's still going off of that. His career is still off of that. Eli Manning at this point is better than Joe Flacco, people. Joe Flacco stinks. Bold prediction number 2, Noah Fant gets over 600 yards. I wanted to say 700 or 800. I really wanted to, and I'll say it's possible. But again, with this quarterback situation, and I don't think these quarterbacks are going to combine for more than 3,500 passing yards, I'll give Noah Fant 600, but for a rookie tight end, that is very, very, very good. In fact, I can't tell you a rookie tight end that got this much in the recent history of the NFL. And then bold prediction number 3, the Broncos will not improve this year. I'm sorry, I just don't see it. Now, I think the Broncos, and we're about to get into this for my win-loss prediction, I think they have a very wide range of possibilities. You know, going back and looking at last year, the Broncos were involved in a lot of close games. They won a decent amount of them. They lost more of them. I expect more of the same this upcoming season, but because this quarterback situation is not where I think it should be, and you know they got Joe Flacco, who they believe to be is a winning quarterback, although he went 4-5 last year and was benched for a rookie who then came in and won way more games than he did, a better percentage at least. I don't know what we're talking about. So with that said, let's move on to the win-loss prediction for the Denver Broncos. Now, best case scenario, I'm wrong. And Joe Flacco channels his, and this is what we're talking about. He channels his 2014, where he had, I want to say 27 touchdowns to maybe 13 interceptions. That was like 6 years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. That's the Joe Flacco that we get, not the Joe Flacco from 2015, 16, 17, or 18. But that he channels the one from 5 or 6 years ago. Okay, let's bet on that. Or, worst case scenario, he doesn't. And he gets benched, and Drew Lock comes in, and Drew Lock struggles as a rookie quarterback in this league who was drafted in the 2nd round for a reason. And the Broncos go 4-12. And people, this is a real possibility. I mean, I just did not see enough improvement on paper for this Denver Broncos team, but I didn't see the free agent additions, and the draft additions were all okay. But with the quarterback position, I think maybe even gotten worse here. I think Case Keenum is better than Joe Flacco. I really do believe that, and we can debate that all day, because at least I got the great season from Case Keenum in the past 5 years. What have I gotten from Joseph Flacco? My prediction is 5-11, worse than last year. One game worse, but worse. Now, I do think you guys are building towards something, and if Drew Lock can come in and he can play better than I think he will, then all of a sudden, again, we're having that, 9-7 playoff contending conversation. But for right now, I have no faith in Joe Flacco. I don't know why the Denver Broncos traded for Joe Flacco, other than to just be a placeholder here for Drew Lock. And then hopefully when Drew Lock comes in, we have a better conversation, because right now we're having a horrible conversation with Joe Flacco. So with that said, those are my thoughts on the Denver Broncos. What are your thoughts? Comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. And until the next time, it's been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. See you all later.